fasten seatbelt signs, as we'll be shortly landing in London Heathrow. Please now return to your seat and make sure that all your personal belongings are safely put away in the overhead lockers or under the seat in front of you. Customers seated in our first, front row seat and emergency exits row or our Club World cabins should place all items in the overhead lockers, leaving the floor area around your seat completely clear. Please also return your video screens to the original position. You can still continue listening to a selection of audio programs during the landing phase. Please check that your table is folded away and your seat is in the landing position with your armrest down and your footstool has been stowed away. Also ensure at this time that the seatbelt is securely fastened.
Hey, this is the Holy Hour, the All Cure podcast, the bi-weekly, sometimes weekly, All Cure podcast. I'm Gavin. Thanks so much for joining us. We've got a very special episode for you today. If you've been following along, we're so happy to announce last week that our old buddy Arusha is back in action, the return of Arusha, and she has touched down in Europe, and we've got the first report back from her first show. She's rejoined her old friends The Cure on tour for the last stretch of their 2016 world tour, and we've got the first report from Bilbao, Spain, and she's joined by a friend of the show. Megan is also with her longtime Cure buddy, and they've got some great scoop to share with you guys here. And sounded like it was quite an amazing show. Look up the set list while you're listening to this. They didn't disappoint, as they rarely do. And at this point in the tour, I mean, they're still throwing in some stuff to spice up the set list. It's amazing. But I want to just dive in, so I'm going to hand it on over to Arusha, and she'll give you the rundown here. So take it away.
I wonder if I could catch the audio when the lights go down and everyone goes crazy. And by everyone, I mean like the stadium is like 1/3 full. So my new friend, in Espanol, can you say how full that? Tell me about the stadium right now. I don't want to let the bounce.
This place, you know what to know?
No. Look at how empty it is. Say it in Spanish. You know what I mean?
Que hay poca gente.
Sí.
To the camera.
Why? Yeah, just say it. In your own language. Don't you think it's kind of empty? But in Spanish.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe they are coming late. Maybe 1 minute before the concert.
Okay, but say that in Spanish.
Quizás vienen un minuto antes de que empiece el concierto. I thought there would be more people here. But you look around, not too much people.
No.
I don't understand really. I'm looking around now. I think there should be more people now. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
I don't know.
So again, this is the hidden concert of the tour. The best concert is going to be tonight.
Yes.
With the red songs. Other voices and
three.
singing
They're gonna do
secrets, doing the Hansa.
They're gonna do a trilogy.
Yes, of course.
A trilogy, Tap, Head, Kiss.
I wouldn't mind, but I think we prefer 3 seconds and let me think.
Well, they already did.
What will be my
Reflections,
dream? My dream is at
We
least
haven't
will be
talked about
like,
Kiss yet.
but I can tell you something. In my dream set list will be all Castle Ray, singing the Kiss,
Yeah.
not 2 right songs. Throw your foot, yes.
Three.
Yeah, claro, throw. Sorry about my pronunciation.
No, that's right.
And Fear of Ghosts,
Okay.
Too Late again.
Fear of Ghosts.
Yes.
Well, you know,
I love that song.
They
But
could do All Cats Are Grey and The Kiss. That's not
The
far
Kiss,
fetched.
why not? The Kiss,
Oh my God,
they
they did
playing.
that.
I've heard the Kiss list many times, and if you've listened to Roger's demo, it's almost the same with lyrics.
Yeah.
Roger sang,
Yeah.
but it's almost the same song. I
Yes.
love that song. And This Morning, I love This Morning. The End of the World beside is much better than The End of the World. Who
Yeah.
cares about the end of the world? Nobody, I guess. Not me, and not you, I guess.
Right.
The end of the world and alt.end. What is that?
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
And before 3, come on. There are much more better songs.
You've heard it, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Anniversary. I want anniversary.
Yeah.
I want You understand?
Yeah.
So let me
Well, at least
write the set list.
at the beginning of the tour, we
Yes,
getting
you were
us,
promised-
us a nap.
promising, yes,
us
what-
a nap
yeah.
all the time.
Tonight they are going to play this Twilight Garden. Why not?
Oh, okay.
That is the song for tonight.
Yes.
Plain song, pictures of you, close down, then in between days.
No, Last Dance.
No, wait. In between days, sinking, and then this Twilight Garden, we die, and they go home, and I don't mind.
Oh.
This is okay. I think the three first songs, I think we are into that.
Right.
I love sinking. I want to hear sinking again. I think it's funny
Yeah, you think, wait.
and
I'm sorry.
incredible.
You think what's funny?
I'm following your page around Instagram, and now you are here,
Yeah.
and I'm talking with you. I find that funny, incredible.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a good thing.
yes, yes. I like
Small-
that.
It's a small
A small word.
Small
international
cure
cure. Okay, we're in we're at first intermission, or that was fucking amazing, right?
Yeah, that was a great set list.
Yes.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Unexpected.
Aquí desde España, un saludo para Estados Unidos.
Muy bueno, ¿no?
Sí, al final ha venido todo el mundo, está lleno. Igual eran entradas que tenían el sitio asegurado y se sentaron a última hora, pero veo que hay bastante gente, el repertorio, el setlist perfecto, así que
Sí.
sí. Me ha
But
gustado.
you were right about the set list. It's
I was
been
very
amazing.
aware, but I was sure that starting with Playson it was going to be splendid. And now I want to hear
Three?
the new song. No, second. No.
Secrets?
Throw your foot.
Throw your foot.
Yes.
Here they come again.
It can never be the same.
It can never be the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's my bet.
I feel like
I want that song. It's that,
I
the
feel
other
like
one.
I just saw The Cure in 1987.
That one or at night. There are two of them. It can never be the same. Si es una que no conoces, escúchala bien, porque esa canción, chaval.
There are a few songs from an album that we made in 1980 called
At night, tío, at night.
There's a lot of people wearing black. It's post-show. We could get a little ambience, but I can only tell you that everybody looks really good. There's a lot of good Cure shirts. Megan's here with me.
Hi. I'm in Europe.
Megan was going to take it easy and sit this one down, but we got here early.
In a nice assigned seat. I was going to sit, but we got here early, and I happened to get right into the front row. And so I stayed there for the whole show. It was good. Crowd was good. People were really nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that crowded. It was not
Yeah.
sold out. And then here comes David, wheeling his way in. But the set list, right? The
Set list was really
amazing.
good. Yeah, good set list. I really liked
Wait,
it.
Irma, I need to get what you were saying. Tell me.
I cannot remember what I was saying.
You were saying, so this is Irma. I met her 16 years ago. Look at David. I met her 16 years ago on the sidewalk, and you were telling me how the passion.
Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah, it's hard to look back at you when you were 16 years younger.
Yeah.
But then when you realize what you did at that time and what you're doing right now, you realize that the passion has not gone. And that the passion is even stronger now than 16 years ago, which
It
is
is?
great. It is. I'm enjoying this experience so much. So much. And re-meeting my friends, that's also great. And feeling that there's something genuine about this band that brings people together as well. So I'm really enjoying this experience, but I'm very tired.
Because now your work is more than it was 16 years ago.
Of course, yeah, I was starting my work by that time, and now I'm just in the middle of something that is very stressing at work, and everything is happening at the same time. But at the end, what's important is what it's important, right? And I booked this 1 year ago, and I was not giving up.
Yeah, Megan and I are going to get up at like noon tomorrow. What time are you getting up?
Well, probably 5 a.m. So it's now 12:30. So yeah, probably 3 hours sleep. And then when I land in the airport, I'm going straight to the office. How fun is that? But it's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
So now we're in this really tiny, what is this called? An alley? A walkway?
I think it's a street, but it's
a street, but it's old. This is like, when was this part of town built?
700 years ago,
Okay.
or thereabouts, I guess.
Right, so the Cure show was last night, but once again, this is one of the fantastic things about following your favorite band around the world, is that you get to go...
Here's a sardine shop. It's all sardines.
Oh my
I
God.
gotta take a picture of this.
Robert said something last night about
sardines.
shitty sardines, but you know, so if you're fortunate enough or reckless enough, like I'm pretty reckless with my money. Like I go into debt to do what I want to do, and I've never been wealthy in my life, and my career is always on the rocks. Whatever. But anyway, God, look at that. Can you take a picture of that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful. Here, we'll do it. We'll do it behind the scenes. Take a picture of that, and then I'll get in it. But you get to explore with like a very purposefully charged event. For me, when I'm a tourist, I don't like to just go where the Zagat, or Frommer's tells me to go. You get to travel with like a very charged purpose, and then you get to be a tourist. So getting to Europe, we had heard and seen that the shows, like they had cut out, they were doing 4 encores in the United States, and now they're down to 3. And for a minute, I guess Robert's voice was, he had a cold or something. I think somewhere in the back of many Cure fans' minds was like, we hope, like every show that people were reporting to over the European tours was like, we hope that this isn't canceled because if it's, he needs to save his voice. But man, I mean, Megan, how was the show last night?
Oh, it was excellent. Really good set list. The energy was good. They seemed to be in a good mood. The crowd was great. It was a really good show. I mean, it's not my favorite from this tour, but it was, in the upper percentages.
The baby screams.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was really good. Oh, well.
If only tonight we could sleep.
The blood sounded really good. I think I had heard I watched a little bit of one of the recordings from...
I just got to take a picture of this, too.
From them doing the blood somewhere in Spain, obviously.
Uh-huh.
And I listened to a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
But I think this version seemed better than what I heard, so maybe it was because he was still recovering from being sick.
Right.
In the recording. But last night he was pretty much in full voice. Prayers for rain, and he did the rain thing.
What's that?
Where he in Prayers for Rain, where he holds the note
you
for a
and
long
I
time.
know it,
yeah.
but
well, he holds this note for a long time, and he was able to do it, so that was good.
yeah, and we were up close enough to see. The other thing
The
about
blood, sweat, and the tears.
Yeah, that's the other thing about. That's not that cool. About going to see your favorite band over and over again is you get to know the little nuances of what they're doing, and so it makes it that much more interesting. I could tell he was gearing up. Like he did his little guitar solo. It's not really a guitar solo, but and he was gearing up for that moment. I think I also could tell that he probably wanted to do even more because he's such a perfectionist.
Right.
That's completely Arusha Baker's analysis.
Yeah.
Completely unofficial, by the way. But I do feel like what I saw was like Robert, like in 96 and 2000 and other years, he could hold that note for twice as long. So I know he's always like reaching for that,
Right.
Plain Song sounded really good. They started the chimes. They took a very long time with the chimes before the band came out. And I think they cut some of the light show on that, which was, I think, a good move. No? I think so.
Well, yeah, and I noticed that they were using, not just specifically on that one, but I noticed they were using the back screens more as video screens, because I think they didn't have room. I'm pretty sure they didn't have the side video screens up.
Okay.
Probably couldn't fit the venue or something, I'm guessing. So there was a lot more footage of them on the back screens than I remember in the U.S.
Yeah.
So more of the songs showed them on the giant screens behind them than I had previously seen. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow if that was just because of this venue and they couldn't have the side screens, or maybe they moved away from those side screens and they're using the background more instead of showing like pictures.
Right.
They're showing the band.
Right. So yeah, the show started with Plain Song, and then went to Pictures of You, and then went to Close Down, which has been a staple for this tour, which sounds really spot on. And for me, that always brings me, I don't know, to a place, because I missed Disintegration. I never saw that tour because I was an idiot. And so those songs are like extra special, even though Disintegration is just a special period. They've dropped Last Dance, which bums me out, but last night I felt like Close Down was my song. But
I think it's just this tour has been like, it feels important to me as like a point in my life. It's like this year for some reason is some kind of like crossroads or like nexus in my life, and so this is a time for me to get away from my normal life and like reflect on what's happening and consider like how I want to move forward.
But don't you feel like that happens in every big Cure tour we do?
Oh yes, it is. But I needed it. I needed it this year, and the tour got announced before I even knew I needed it.
So before I forget to comment, I have to do my Simon is a fucking stallion speech. Donald, you may remember me saying that and how you agreed in Charlotte. Like, the guy, it's insane. First of all, his hair is grown and he's he's styling it masterfully. Second of all, he looks like a fucking runner, or like, I mean, he just looks so good. The guy's almost 60 years old. He looks so good, and he plays so well, running around on stage, totally facing off to the audience. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, let's do this.
Right.
Yeah, Simon Gallup, man. They're all great, but I'm sorry, Simon's sort of...
Although he did trip over, I think, a guitar chord last night when he was coming back from Reeves' side of the stage and knocked over a guitar stand. And
it's called enthusiasms.
Right.
Enthusiasms. But yeah, that's actually, I feel like he's gotten more bold.
Yeah.
Even if that's even possible.
Yeah.
More bold in that he's now standing on the monitors in the front all the time.
Yeah.
And he just fucking stares at the crowd. And like I said, like, you know, you can look at it in many ways. Like,
what do you think he's saying during a forest?
He's counting.
He is?
Yeah, he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all he's doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then Megan caught Reeves dancing a bit.
Yeah, he was like doing a little like shuffle dance.
He's loosening up.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and then the final thing is, so then we met, after the show, we met my friends David and Irma from Barcelona, who I also met following The Cure. It was great to see them, and we lingered around because their friends work at the venue. And then Megan and I we had found a cute little bar in Bilbao.
Oh my God.
The night before that was totally quiet and desolate and like just chill city.
Just like people who had just gotten off work, locals.
So we were like, oh, well, let's go there after now and have a nightcap. Nope.
We get there and it was like an alternate universe. It was jam-packed with all these young people, like, you know, being rowdy and super drunk. So it turns out there was some football match yesterday and the team won. So everybody was out celebrating. There were, bottles and cups all over all the streets.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, and you know, it's like, that's what you do when you're young. It's like you're rowdy and crazy, but it had gone from like, just picture like that bar next to your house that only the one guy goes to that's like lives at the bar stool +2, and then the next night you go there and it's fucking Cancun.
Right.
You know, it's like fucking
It's spring break.
Spring break, Girls Gone Wild, and like Hotel Ibiza, and fucking, you know, Tom Cruise is there or some shit. I don't know. It was crazy. Then we went to this Cure after show, and that was crazy. There's a lot of men, a lot of boys at that place, not a lot of women. And then we tried to find another bar, and there was some passed out guy, like an older dude, wasted. I mean, wasted to the point where his 4 people around him were trying to hold him up. So we got a bit of the city life.
Yeah, that's right, we did. The underbelly of Bilbao.
That's right. And now it's Black Friday in Bilbao, and I thought I was so entrenched in Cure Land that I thought maybe Black Friday was a celebration of our people, but no, I forgot. It's shopping.
And now it's worldwide, apparently.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, one thing I keep forgetting to talk about at the Bilbao show that I think is vital is If Only Tonight We Could Sleep. Such a great song from a fantastic album, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, which at the time the world heard Just Like Heaven, which is an amazing pop song. It's a classic pop song, right? It's like a staple, like Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. But the great thing about Kiss Me is the long intro of music and orchestration that almost every song has, building into before you get to Robert's voice. And at the time, I felt like that was a thing that they were getting into. Like, if you look at The Kiss, it's like 2 or 3 minutes of this incredible build-up. And so by the time you hear Robert's voice, you are going to explode. Because they just build each part of the song so gradually and so well. It's like the Kiss Me album, I feel like, showcases Robert's musical strengths in a way that maybe, like, you know, The Top was like an experimental album, and Faith and Pornography and 17 Seconds were musically great, but they were also very young and fresh and raw and emotional, whereas Kiss Me was musically above par. If you start from, you know, zero to 0 to 87 or 86, whenever it came out, I guess 87. And that's one thing I really like about The Cure in general, is the orchestrated, the musical arrangements. And Robert Smith has become such an icon, and he's such a lovable icon with his hair and his lipstick and his silly smiles, and now he's dancing, that people tend to focus on his face and what he's saying and how he's looking. And sometimes I wonder if fans forget to look at how he's playing the guitar, and forget to think about how he's arranged all of these things. And he has his his mates, like Simon, who's written some parts of some songs, and Lowell, who did some parts. And every musician in the band has their part in it. And every album showcases a different... what am I trying to say? Like, I think while Mood Swings, everybody contributed a little bit more, whereas maybe Bloodflowers, it was all Robert. But with Kiss Me, that album, I felt like really showcased his love for guitar.
Right.
Because he picked up the guitar before he started singing.
Well, even the way that album starts with the Kiss, with that really, really long, drawn-out intro with that just, like, aching guitar solo.
Yeah, I mean,
that really sets the stage for the whole album.
It does. And then if you can look at the Snake Pit, again, dun dun,
Yeah.
bow. So one note on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
The drums set the rhythm, and then it takes you, and then the bend of the bass takes you into this sort of like swirly, drug-induced state.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 minutes into the song, he starts talking about where he is. He's underground and he's sinking or whatever. I Sing Sugar, which they never play, but huge drum solo.
Right.
Right? And Shiver and Shake, is that on?
Yeah.
Okay, so If Only Tonight We Could Sleep. So cut to now. If Only Tonight We Could Sleep in Bilbao, 2016. Megan and I are in the front row, and I just... Seeing Robert pick up the guitar, get ready for the little... climbing up, the neck of the guitar was a cherished moment for me, because I see Robert as a very underrated guitar player. He's not known.
Really?
Yeah, I think people don't see him. I think he's become such an icon of what he writes about and what he looks like, and his facial expressions. And everyone knows he's a genius.
Right.
But I'm talking like very specifically guitar, and that you don't need to be like, Reeves is great and he's a proficient, technically better than anybody on that stage when you're talking about technical aspects of guitar playing. But Robert has his own sound.
Well, for me, and we've had this conversation before, his guitar sound, that's his voice to me.
Yes.
It's as distinctive as his singing voice, but he can express so much emotion through how he plays guitar. And also, I do remember at the concert in Bilbao, when he was playing If Only Tonight We Can Sleep, he does that super slow pick slide.
Yep.
And you were behind me, and I heard you say, wow, or you said something like that, when he was doing it. And it's just like so effective, and nobody does like, a 30-second pick slide. Right,
except for Oasis in 1987.
But, it just, that's I think the bass and the guitar are what make The Cure for me.
I mean, it's all of it. I mean, really. But for Megan and I last night, I think being in the front row after coming back to the tour and being sort of fresh.
Right.
And being in a foreign country and just seeing these guys that we've been seeing for 30, 40 fucking years. I mean, we've both seen The Cure since the 80s. It's really incredible. And those little moments on the guitar, or even to see, like, I always talk about Simon, how he plays his bass and how, I don't know, I always return to, like, in the Nick Cave movie about 20,000 Days on Earth, he talks about, Nick Cave is being interviewed, and he talks about seeing his dad. And his dad died very young. I mean, Nick was like 19 or something, and his dad was in a car accident. Oh. And so in the interview, in the movie, Nick Cave is talking about, or he's being asked by this psychiatrist, well, what do you remember about your dad, and what got you into writing, and what got you into music? And he said he remembers his father reading Lolita to him. Mm-hmm. And when he read Lolita, it was like he lit up.
Right.
And he became his better self. And Nick, as a 5-year-old boy, could see that in his father.
Right.
And that was so inspiring to him that inspired him to write. And him, you know, because his dad never made that. Like, his dad, I guess, was a writer, but he never made some, like, you know, sort of like Nick Cave has been blessed enough to be 100% in many moments his better self, his elevated self. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that with The Cure. It's like, yeah, Robert, you're a normal person. You have ups and downs, but when we see you on stage doing, you know, bringing this music to us and watching you in your element, it's just, there's nothing better.
Right.
So
It's pure.
It's pure, and it's seeing people at their best,
Right.
and not just like a competition. It's not the
Right.
same as like a sport,
Right.
where you're like, okay, I got to get the ball to the goal,
Right.
or a race. It's
Team art.
it's art,
Yeah,
and so
it's team art.
art is like, so he made
They're
this.
working together to make that great concert.
Yeah, but like seriously, like I highly encourage friends to tell friends. We all know there's music nerds out there that watch all this stuff. I know Ian, our friend Ian, is always watching guitar, bass, like always
Right.
watching the instruments more than anything else. Whereas
Right.
a lot of people, understandably, are like, oh look, it's Simon and, you know, Robert touching and cuddling, and it's adorable. But like, watch Robert play specific songs and watch the differences, and you will love this band even more.
That's why I like Olivier's videos that he posts. The It's a Perfect Day on Vimeo. He had recorded when they played If Only Tonight, I don't know, last week or something. He had recorded it and posted it, and he does zoom in on Robert's hands, and that was a great performance of it too. And I think I watched it like 30 times in the past week because I just kept wanting to go back and see it again and again and again, just to hear it and see how they were playing it.
Let's hope they play it tonight.
I know, right?
So hey guys, so now I'm at the airport, and I ran into
Adrian.
I said, oh, good! I have a block on his name. I keep calling him Andre, and it's Adrian. He's from Uruguay, but he lives in Miami now. And he was at the Bilbao show last night. What'd you think of the show?
Last night was amazing. It was one of the best shows I ever seen. It was an amazing set list, and I'm going to Barcelona now, and I'm not sure if it's going to be like that good. I don't think so, but well, I hope.
How many shows have you been to in Europe
In Europe?
this time?
Oh, just two. Just a Spain show.
Oh, just Spain?
Yeah, just Spain.
How many shows did you do in America?
6.
Okay. Yeah, no, last night was really special.
Yeah,
really,
it was.
really good.
It was really, really good.
Adrian was at the front of the line, like very front and center. Right?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I was right in front of Simon.
It's all about Simon, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. He looks angry sometimes, but he's cool.
He's taking over. But now the line is forming to get on the airplane, so now I have to get on the airplane. But see, you meet Cure fans. That's another part of it. You meet Cure fans. We're at the goddamn airport. And
yeah, and devotion is not a crime.
that's right. It's fun.
Cruise seats for landing. Thank you.
Special thanks to Arusha, as always. Thanks so much, Arusha, for letting us tag along. And special thanks to Megan, too. Always great to hear you guys talk Cure, and we really appreciate it. Be sure to check out Arusha's upcoming film, Push, Cure Fan Documentary's website so you can find out the latest on its status and donate some money. It'd be a great Cure Christmas present. Drop a few dollars over so Arusha can keep this thing rolling. And you can check all that out at curefandocumentary.com. And at that website, you can also find all the social media outlets so you can follow along on Instagram and get little clips here and there. She's great about posting little snippets and trailers and whatnot. So lots of great stuff to follow on Instagram. It's just Cure Fan Doc on Instagram and on Facebook, the Cure Fan Documentary Push on Facebook. So you can find all that at the website. So go on over, drop off a few dollars, check out some great Cure scoop. Thanks so much, Arusha. Off to Barcelona next, and then Manchester. The tour's winding down, but it sounded like we had a great time in Bilbao, and thanks so much again for sharing. Thanks to everybody that talked to Arusha and Megan. Didn't quite catch the guy at the beginning of this, his name, but if you recognize your voice and being one of the early birds with them, and we appreciate you talking, feel free to contact us and drop us your name. But thank you, and thanks to Irma for sharing your thoughts. I hope your next morning wasn't too rough, and that you're able to get at least a few hours of sleep in there. And thanks to Adrian at the airport there. And hope you had an amazing show in Barcelona, and everybody gets where they need to go safely and has a great time. So for the Holy Hour, that's it for now. We'll let you know as soon as we have some new scoop on how this tour is winding down. Bound to be some surprises at the end there too. So let's see how it all wraps up. It's been quite a year for the Cure, and we've been loving talking about it. So be sure to subscribe to the Holy Hour podcast at iTunes. Like I said, these tour update ones, we're kind of just going to get them done as soon as I can and post them out to you. So they might not be in the normal days and formats that pop up. So subscribe so you get them as soon as they're posted. You can do all that at iTunes, or you can also leave us a ranking or rating, whatever it's called there, and some kind of review if the mood strikes. So all of that on iTunes. Feel free to go on over to the Facebook page and like that Facebook page so you can follow all the scoop on individual episodes too. You don't need to get caught up in a giant thread concerning the entire podcast, but each episode has a little comment section on Facebook where you can see accompanied pictures and clips and such. I'll try to find those Olivia videos that Megan was talking about and post those so you can see those, and anything else that I stumble across to give you the bigger experience of this specific concert. And be sure to go to Instagram and follow the Holy Hour podcast on Instagram. That's where we do a lot of our shout outs for specific episodes and whatnot. And yeah, as far as anything, keep an eye out on topics, specific topics for episodes of show on Instagram. I'll throw them out there. But if you have any Cure-related stories you want to share and you want to put them on the Holy Hour podcast, it always goes without saying, please send them to me, Gavin Conner, at gavinconner@gmail.com. We're always looking for your stories. Record yourself, just talk it into your phone, and you can email it straight to my Gmail account, and we'll work it into an episode. Believe me, if you want to write it up, you don't like your voice, you think you sound funny, well, don't worry about it. Just write it up, and I'll read it. If you want to video it somehow, I'll figure out a way to put a video in there too. Possibilities are endless, but we know you all have them. Whether it's just about a specific song, specific album, you just drink a little too much one night and want to talk about the Cure and nobody's there to talk to us. Record yourself, throw it on there, and send it my way. That's all I fucking do. So, yeah, let's make it work. Let's bring all your stories in here, and we'll be forever grateful, and it'll be forever documented in the world wide web of the internets, and for all Cure fans to share. I think we all enjoy hearing these stories, I hope, on some level. But until then, hopefully we'll have some more coverage as this tour winds down. Again, special thanks to Arusha, your class act, and stay safe out there, and hope the tour keeps going smoothly for you guys. And till next time, talk hard.